Indian men's cricket team are staring at defeat once again. The Gabba has brought back some nightmares that India had managed to banish for a while now. First, it was the agony being piled on, Australia scoring a mammoth 400-plus total in that first innings. The lone spark, the only bowler who managed to create any dent at all in that resilient Aussie display with the ball was Jasprit Bumrah. He was the only thorn in Australian side that really made things difficult for them. But the bigger concern at Brisbane has again resoundingly been India's batting. A batting that has looked underconfident and weak in the face of a very, very strong Australian bowling attack. Sure, it's a quality attack led by Pat Cummins, the experience of Nathan Lyon adding to that as well. But India needed to stand taller with the bat to fight it out, and they failed to do that yet again. Before the start of this test, I spoke about all the scrutiny being on the two best batters in that lineup, the two senior-most men for India, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. They did little to trouble the scoreboard in this test so far. Virat Kohli seems a shadow of that Perth knock itself, which happened just some weeks ago. Memories of that horrid series of India against England in 2014 are coming back. And the way he got dismissed this time did no justice to what his caliber entails. And Sunil Gavaskar, former India captain turned commentator, was at it once again, expressing his disappointment at Kohli's performance and his lack of intent that he saw during this particular series.
He only needs to look at his hero, Sachin Tendulkar. The way in which he had kept his patience and control on his offside game, scoring those 241 runs at Sydney. He did not play any shot on the offside, or at least in the cover, because before that he was getting dismissed while attempting to play in covers.
Gavaskar telling Kohli to only look at one of his idols and what he did against the Aussies to turn the corner. Of course, not the kind of tip or advice Virat Kohli really needs at this point. It's truly been one of his worst faces in Test cricket. And of course, then there is Rohit Sharma, whom Sunil Gavaskar seems to have forgotten about. Yes, he's brought himself down the order in that batting lineup. Rohit Sharma and the Indian management feel this is the right attempt to salvage that batting. But is it really? After Rohit Sharma got dismissed for 10 runs, he showed his frustration. He threw his gloves as soon as he entered the dugout. It has been a very difficult series for him as captain and batter, and fans seem to have reacted to this moment. Well, we don't need to pay attention to that part of it, but what's the solution here? There are two ways of looking at this. Does the Indian think tank, which obviously also includes Virat Kohli, take a bold call to make changes in that batting order which could see them actually sit out? Or carry forward with this particular equation in the hope that the Indian team has enough firepower to ride out what clearly is a horrid phase, a transition phase? Now, here's the issue with that. Any bold move means onus on the youngsters to really come through and carry the responsibility and the burden, the bulk of the scoring. Yes, KL Rahul has impressed this time. He was the top scorer. Shubman Gill has nowhere near any runs to his name, which has resulted in a harsh remark from Gavaskar.
Leave your image in the dressing room. Certain shots are dangerous at the start of your innings before you are set, and you don't have the measure of what the wicket is doing. Keep all those shots in your back pocket. Take them out when you are 30, 40, 50 not out. Then can you get those shots again?
Gavaskar obviously referring to the way Shubman Gill got out in this test, but those are really some tough words to hear. Gavaskar telling Gill to leave his image in the dressing room where it belongs, saying that there is more show than tell. And the numbers do not back Gill here. He's been woefully short of the runs that he has promised, the talent that the Indian team backs. Gill has clearly missed the mark in a series where it has mattered the most, a must-win series against Australia. What we saw today was two bowlers in Jasprit Bumrah and Akash Deep batting it out to avoid that follow-on, which they did. The cricketer who has been India's MVP with the ball, that's most valuable player, was also the MVP with the bat. And a dressing room that probably hardly smiled all this while celebrated the two getting the required runs to prevent that follow-on like it was a series win. And a loss moments, and of course to avoid that loss, moments before stumps on day 4, is that the takeaway India wants from this series, that it has been just the bowlers and one particular senior at that, Jasprit Bumrah, who has given it their all. Some hard questions to ask and answers before the series flashes before their eyes, and a hard stop to the World Test Championship dreams.